I graduated university this previous weekend, and it is honestly one of the most bittersweet feelings ooh, I've ever had. Um, Obviously, there's a lot of excitement about the potential of the future, but at the same time, there's that lingering realization that you're never gonna have class again, or an assignment, or a syllabus, or even just the freedom to do what you want on your day-to-day life, essentially. Like in between classes, for example, I could always go to XYZ with my friends, go sneak into the dining hall, or go to the rec center, work out, play volleyball. Um, and then right now, I'm actually in the process of moving out of my apartment as well. I've lived here for the past 2 years. I have countless memories, my roommates, my friends, they've all been here. And it's just a surreal little feeling that after 4 years of calling this place my home, it's time to find a new home, you know. Maybe it's like I'm moving into a bigger house, you know, new lifestyle. And yeah, here it is, like 3:30 a.m. I'm packing my room. I have my whiteboard with my goals that I wrote at the beginning of the year. I'm seeing all these messages and notes and other little items that are reminding me of the amazing time I had at university. And I think I can honestly say and truly recommend to anyone that you're never gonna get something of the same experience or even value from going to college. Like the education is one thing, but the growth and experience that you'll have from being away from home, having to figure out how to problem solve on your own, not having your parents and your family always being able to save you, it just really shapes you as a person and helps your personality bloom, and you really get to get a feel for who you really are as a person. So let's talk about what are my plans after graduating. Um, so for those who don't know, I graduated from UT Austin, Hookham, and I am in July I'll be working full time at Dell Technologies, which I'm eternally grateful for this opportunity and super excited to learn all these different skill sets and meet these people for amazing things about the company. And it's a very exciting stepping stone in my career, which I'm sure I'll look back on one day with fond memories, just like I do right now of UT. Uh, I'm really glad I have this because it gives me like a safety net. I know what I'm doing, but I don't know. There's also something really tempting about not knowing what's gonna happen after college. Uh, Next, let's like talk about some college fears, I guess, or fears that I'm having about graduating. I think the biggest one for me is some of my closest friends who we've made immensely deep bonds over the past 4 years. They're gonna be pretty far away, so I'm not always gonna be able to hang out with them like I have. But that's why I'm super grateful for technology because I could always FaceTime them or Discord them. But it'll definitely be different not having them around. Next, after that, it's hmm, it's the fear of the uncertainty. You know, life is changing. I already have added like a routine and a schedule of how my weeks were going, what days I had class, what days I was gonna lift, stuff like that. So I kind of have to refine a new routine that's gonna be a little different now. But unless you are in those situations where you're uncertain or uncomfortable, you're not gonna be able to grow. I actually got a candle today, and on it says grow through change. And sometimes we need to go through these changes, whether they're big or small, because they expose us to new factors which can make us grow in different ways. And you know, at the end of the day, it's about improving yourself and becoming a better person every single day. So I mean, those are some things I hope to do after college. I'm immensely grateful for the past 4 years. I grew and I learned a lot, but I know I'm still a long way away from where I want to be in life. So I want to stay optimistic and keep growing, whether it's mental health wise, I want to get smarter, get wiser, maybe without having to get older. I want to improve financially, deepen my net worth, and maybe buy a house in the next couple years. want to become a better person overall, be more emotional, and be more in tune with my emotions. I feel one thing being an immigrant is you're taught to kind of push your emotions away and just keep them undercover. So I think being emotionally intelligent is a very good skill to have. Helps you with yourself, with your significant other, with friends, or just be a good skill that I want to work on. And these are just some things that I want to grow on. I want to keep posting consistency weekly. This is actually going to be my last video in this current living arrangement. So I'm definitely going to look back on this with very fond memories, knowing that this is where I started posting my first YouTube videos. Something that I'd procrastinated for years, but I finally started doing it. And then, yeah, congrats to all other grads. I hope you enjoyed and got engulfed in your graduation and truly lived the moment. Because I can confidently say this was the best experience of my life. Graduating is my biggest accomplishment so far. Hopefully not forever. And stay hungry, keep growing. College was important, but the choices you make now in this transition will shape your life for the rest of the time you're around. So yeah, I think it's okay not to know exactly what you're gonna do. It's okay not to have everything answered, but to stay hungry and be optimistic and want to learn so you can slowly figure these little pieces of you out and have more direction in your life with what you want to do. Know your passion. But yeah, honestly, like a big mix of feelings. A little scared, very hopeful, very optimistic, very excited for the future. And I already know I'm going to look back on this video a couple years down and be like, wow, things have changed so much. But yeah, thanks to UT Austin for an amazing 4 years. And who knows, maybe I'll